Alright, here's my response to DSG and the Noob fix some MIDI. I do not have a webcam as of current. Oh, actually, I see it now, but yeah, it's not on. So we're gonna take a quick look. I made some notes after watching the video. I'm not sure if these really go in any specific order, but the first thing I noticed that I could comment on was the misaligned notes. So you'll see here I've got a snare track set up. I don't have as much. It's empty. It's just one track, so not as much going on, but you can hear it. It's anyway. The misalignment here. Now I've got this set to piano roll notes. I want to say view and named notes. Either way. So I'm 60 here and I'm 36 here. So that kind of why you're misaligned probably. You can watch it up top there. If I move this up to 60, it'll slowly realign. Nope, and I'm one off. Well, anyway, not a big deal because you're running Sample-matic with the sample, and you see here the mode. You have it set to sample ignore MIDI note. It means it's regardless of what note it's on over here, it's still going to play the same sound. Now you can change this semitone shifted, and you'll hear the difference. So if we were to take these back down, you can hear it. But if we go straight back to sample ignoring MIDI note, you've got the same sound. So that was one thing that kind of was sticking out there. So what are we, 68? We'll align those back to 60. Should be good. Alright, the other thing I noticed, you had your grid setting to half, which makes it so you can't really, I mean, if I turn snap off, snap here too, well, I guess I can just kind of move it around. Anyway, I prefer having it at least an eighth. Allows me to kind of better get it where I want it to be. Next one. Now, I thought I knew the answer to this. You'll see this. This is twofold here. Up here, you've got your MIDI item with the notes and the little plops along the bottom. That indicates, I don't know what this is called down here, but these are your extra things, your pitch, all those ones you were looking at, aftertouch, velocity, whatever it is. Those will show up at the bottom there to tell you that you have modified those notes in some way. Now, I was going to say that in order to get your notes to pitch, you want to look at your pitch bend here. This is 2 semitones. I had assumed that doing this and not changing this and something like this to semitone shifted, you wouldn't get a pitch bend, but if you listen to this, I've got it. It's working for me for some reason. So you can hear that versus the one after it. So, but here's where you'll see, if I say, we can put that up to 12 semitones, an entire octave, now you'll hear a way bigger difference between these first 2 notes and like this middle note. So it's so I'm not entirely sure what's going on with your pitch bend there, but play around with the pitch bend here. You might look at the mode. You also want to zoom in a little closer. See, I'm down to 1 bar, 1/8 note measurements. If I came out, it's not as easy to tell what's, it just turns into a blur. So you want to kind of really get in there and just see what's going on. The other way, there's several ways to kind of edit all this stuff. I haven't really found a way to turn these all into one item. You can highlight the entire track, right click item settings, and you can lock the item. Doesn't exactly make them one, but it locks them all together and what did I just do? I don't know. And keeps them in one spot. So that's one way of doing it. The other one you want to do is you look at your MIDI editor up here. There's these two first buttons, the track list and the media item lane. I'm not as comfortable or familiar with the second, the media item lane. It comes down here, lets you kind of see and select your different MIDI tracks. I don't really like that one. I don't really understand it. So I do the track list, which comes over here. You can expand and unexpand the list here, but then you can see each snare MIDI item for the track here, and you can see at what bar it starts. So here's one. If I click that, now you can see I'm editing, you know, the first MIDI item, second. Oh wait, why is it not third? Okay. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So apparently number 1, I'm not sure what the heck that is. But here's the one. So there's 2. I'm confused on that. Apparently I've got maybe duplicates. So let me unlock that and delete one. Yeah, look at that. Oh, no, did that work? Yeah, look at that. There's still one there. Okay, so that's better. I had duplicated it somehow. Anyway, you can come here and you can see all of your items. And if you click them, it changes. You can see up here in the arrange view, it's highlighting down below. It gives you the notes and all the stuff associated with it. I'm gonna say that I cheat here on the gated reverb piece. I could set up a gate. I could do whatever with it. I'm actually using Ambience by Magnus. I guess it's a free reverb. And if you come in here, they've actually got one down in the drums section, I think. I think this is on drums gated, I believe, is what I've been using. And then you can hear. That might be a little much still, but yeah, gating. Yeah, see, it's got the entire gating thing here, so I could probably bring it down a little bit. Oh no, I want to turn it up. So I use a reverb with the built-in gate, and it kind of simplifies that for me. It's one less thing that I have to kind of do. List all items in track. So I kind of touched on the how do you deal with the multiple MIDI items in a track. This is one way of doing it. I've gotten pretty good at, you know, seeing what's highlighted here and coming down to edit it. But I pretty much entirely work in MIDI, so I've gotten used to that workflow. The other option you can do, preferences. Let me bring that over. We've got, is it? No, it's under like editing or something. Editing behavior, MIDI editor. So you can say right here, behavior, open items. Oh, these two, yeah. Open MIDI editor per MIDI item track or project. So you can do track, behavior for open items and built-in MIDI editor, all MIDI items on same track. Now I think if you do that and you come out and you do that, then you can kind of drag it down and you can see all of your MIDI notes. See, so you can see the grid here because that's the active MIDI item I'm in. But if you come in here, I think if you, yep, so you double click one of those notes and it'll bring you to the next, you know, to the one you want to actually be editing it. But it allows you to see all of that in one kind of continuous view. Kind of like that, but I don't really do that. What I use is one MIDI editor per project, open all selected MIDI. Now that allows me to do something like this. So give me a second here. I'm gonna put on a synth here, so you can see I've got this guy. I don't even care. So that allows me to do something like this. So I can if you try to add a new one and you have one highlighted, it puts the same notes down. That's not what I want. So I'm gonna just put this in, and I'm gonna say eighth notes. That sounds good. We're gonna Alright, so I've put down some cheesy freaking melody here. But what this does, those preferences that I had there, options, preferences, MIDI, per project, open all selected MIDI items, it allows me to do something like this. So I take this, and I take that, and now I can see, this one's a kind of confusing, but it then at least allows me to take my notes and line them up on the beats, because I don't have them all selected. So it kind of allows me to do that if I needed to, or if I wanted to. That may just be a little bit more confusing, but these are some of the things that I've been doing. So that's another way of kind of dealing with it. You can mess with those settings under the MIDI editor to kind of get something that seems to work for you. Let's see. Snap grid size. Yeah, you were messing with the notes before. Let's go back to just one of these. You had, did you? Yeah, you were like way zoomed in, but hold on. Let's. So you were kind of messing with the note lengths, and what you'll see if I do this, you're not going to notice much difference. And that, give me a second to turn that off. That comes back to, no, not this. Yep, so that's this one right here. If you have this box unchecked, it's one shot. Basically, no matter how long your note is or how short it is, it's going to play that full sample based on this ADSR envelope, which you can, change here, or if you can get a hold of them, you can change it here as well. But that, with that box checked, that's going to play the one note all the way through based on the envelope that you can make up here. Otherwise, if you do this, obey note offs, still takes into effect the ADSR envelope, but you'll notice that now this one and this one are much different. Oh wait, hold on, I soloed the wrong one. So you can, oh no, go back. You can really hear the difference. Let's see. So you can see that that eighth note is probably more than the full sound. That whatever that is, that tiny thing is just a blip. So if you want to play with something like that, that's how you want to do that with that obey note offs. So at the beginning where that note starts, that's the note on. Where it ends, that's the note off. So this sample will play for the length of that note as long as there's still sound to play up here. Leave this off. It's what's called a one shot, and regardless of how long that is, it'll still play the whole thing. Let's see. We kind of briefly touched on the weird squiggles, so let's. So this is one of them. That's the only one I've got set up. You can see the MIDI notes are the long ones right along the bottom edge. That'll be like the things like pitch and aftertouch and whatever else you've got down here. Now changing this doesn't affect whatever you had here. You had that grab it at the top and drag it down. I can't seem to even find that honestly. But all this does, this allows you to make those changes down here. But you can see it's only one line per grid division, so I can't put anything in between. So for every eighth note now, because that's what my grid is set to, I can change the, whatever this is, volume, MSB, I don't know what that is, but that's what these are, and that'll give you a different lane down here for each one. So it's not ideal. If you want to do something like that with the automation lane, you can come in here and we can add MIDI control, control MIDI, and then you can enable down here, you can enable your volume. I mean, that's kind of built into the automation lanes, but you could do something like your pitch wheel right here. So this is clunky with one bar every eighth note or whatever. We can now say pitch wheel, and we can say trim it, read MIDI control, pitch wheel, bam. Now, in theory, I've put the envelope lanes inside the bar. Let me see, I believe you do that. I think you can click on the line and you say, the hell do you say? It's somewhere in here. Delete, invert, reduce, show envelope in lane. Okay, so if I do that, it brings it back down. If you click here, you can uncheck, brings it on top of your gear. Depends on what you do. This view is a little easier for me, so you know, now I can mess with the stop. Oh my god, knock it off. There we go. So, let's see what it does now. Well, I guess I should clear the pitch down here, or do it on a different one. So let's show envelope in lane. Let's clear envelope. Yep, get rid of it. Let's do it on a different. Well, that was silly. Bear with me here. Pitch wheel. We'll just go to a different set of. So let's see how that sounds. Yeah, that's totally not working. Well, so much for that example. I'm not entirely sure why that's not working. I think that's not working because that's pitch wheel and not pitch. I guess they're related, but not the same thing. Boy, I mean, there was a lot you showed me. I'm not sure that much of this is helping. I mean, I could go through and spend some time recording some things on how I lay some stuff down. I'm still not very good at any of that, but some of it might at least help. I guess the other thing you want to look at, and you were kind of doing this right, was you had the top bar that you were dragging down. Where is that? Oh, can't get it. Yeah, see, that's your velocity. And you're doing the crossfade. Nope, that's not the right one. Which doesn't really do anything, so in all honesty, you're looking at, you want to do the volume envelope, and that's always what I've kind of stuck with. working on MIDI. So you got, that it's kind of like a slow fade in over the entire 4 bars. And that's kind of down and dirty way to do a fade in or a fade out with the MIDI. You were talking about it being tedious doing it on all of them. I don't know that there's an easy way to automate that or not. I would assume, there's some videos out there that show you how to do that, but I'm typically in there just doing it as I go along. So for me, it's not as extensive as a project to start. So I'm kind of doing this as I lay it down. Trying to think of what else you had that I might be missing. I guess for now that covers some of them. So if you have any, specific questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'll see what I can do. I mean, I'm hoping that this is helpful in some aspect or another. All right, I'll get this uploaded shortly. All right, bye.